Hey everybody, it's Tammy from Wisconsin on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's not so hot today. So tonight I thought I'd talk about whose fault is it? It's not my fault. Is it your fault? I don't think it's your fault. So whose fault is it anyways? Well, last night I got a call from a friend of mine. He just had another major argument with one of his roommates and he was frustrated. And this isn't the first time he's had an argument with this roommate. It's happened frequently in the past, not so much anymore because this friend of mine, he's really been evolving, as he puts it. And he's getting to be aware of who he is and who he wants to be. So, first thing, it bothered him that he had an argument with his roommate to begin with. And he fessed up right away that, it started because of something he did. And it was pretty much miscommunication. His challenge, though, was not fessing up. I mean, every time he's had an argument with his roommate in the past, he's admitted that it was his fault. He knows it takes two to tangle. But his challenge was that his roommate, he believes, has never admitted responsibility. So he felt like last night, it's like, well, I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to apologize. And this guy never apologizes. He's like, I'm sick and tired of being the one who's always the adult in the room. And I thought, that's one way to look at it, whose fault it is. When you have an argument, it's really, what I try to tell him is fault isn't the question you should be asking yourself. Because in an argument, it really doesn't matter whose fault it is. The argument is done and over with. Who wants to take responsibility? And to me, taking responsibility means that you have also taken the power. You have the ability to respond. So it's like if you're asking somebody else to take responsibility, you can't. Not everybody has that ability to respond, but he does. So it's not a matter of whose fault it is. You've taken responsibility, and you that's all you need. It doesn't matter what the other person does. When you're looking for fault, I believe the only time you're going to have fault in something is when you want somebody else to financially pay for something, like when you have a car accident. You need to find out who was at fault with the accident and who pays for the repairs. But when you're looking for somebody's fault, then you're also looking for somebody to blame. And when you're looking for somebody to blame, doesn't that lead to asking for an apology? And when I explained it to him that way, I'm like, is that what you're looking for, is an apology? Because you know what? Making an apology isn't about the other person. You don't ask for forgiveness or forgive somebody for their sake. It doesn't matter to somebody else. Like half the time when somebody else has done something wrong, like my friend with his argument with his roommate, they don't even know it. You're the one who's aware of what's going on. So when you, for instance, I have another friend whose mom was a real, what, when he was growing up, and it rhymes with itch. She was just out there. She berated him constantly growing up. She was just a mean person, and she's long passed away. But since then, my friend has slowly forgiven her. And do you think it matters to her right now if she's forgiven or not? Just like it won't matter to my friend's roommate if he forgives him or not. What it does for my friend, though, is it releases all the anger and all the emotions he has with his narcissistic mother. So it's when you forgive somebody, it's for your sake, not their sake. So to take responsibility is the same thing. It's for your sake, so you can take the power. He has the power to change, and I've seen that over the last few months when he's taken responsibility every time with his actions. He has changed. He has evolved. He's become aware. Be proud of that. You can't be concerned about the other person. To me, it's like, when a 2-year-old spills milk, do you blame them? Do you expect them to take responsibility? I mean, that's what his roommate was acting like, was a 2-year-old. You don't expect them to take responsibility. All you can do is instruct them And, hopefully the next time it doesn't happen, and hopefully they listen to you. And then the other disgusting thing that disgusted him was that the roommate just kept on going on and on and on and on. One of those people, they just can't shut up. And he's like, I know I started it. When it got to the point where I was getting angry, I just asked him to shut up. Just let it go, and we'll discuss it later. And do you think his roommate would shut up? No, his roommate kept on spewing a lot of hateful, spiteful things. And I said to him first, I said, people say a lot of stuff that they don't mean when you're in an argument. So whatever he said doesn't matter. He doesn't mean it. He really doesn't. I know he's a good guy too. So, but on the other hand, it reminded me of an infant, because to me, when somebody has to do that, it's pretty much an infantile mentality. Excuse me. So if he's acting like an infant, it reminded me of an infant when they throw up. I mean, when our kids are little, I can't tell you how many times they threw up on me after a meal or something. Could they control it? Absolutely not. But did I look at it like they were doing it to me on purpose? Did they know what they were doing? Did it seep into my skin, into my soul? No, it had nothing to do with me. It was on my clothes. I took changed my shirt, and that was that. And it's the same thing when you have somebody spewing stuff like that at you. You shrug it off. It has nothing to do with who you are and who you are being. And once those two things clicks, is that, if you're expecting somebody else to take responsibility, why would you want to? You're giving up your power, your ability to respond. And if you're looking for, if you're looking to blame somebody, then you're looking for an apology. An apology isn't for you; it's for them. And the third, and the last thing is, no matter what somebody else says, it doesn't have a difference to who you are. It might be easy to say, but because you're aware, he's already evolving. So I want to ask you, are you ready when you look at your financial situation? Are you saying, whose fault is it? Or are you saying, I want to take responsibility. I want the ability to respond to my financial situation or any other situation that I'm not pleased with in my life. Something I want to change, I'm taking responsibility. I'm not asking whose fault it is. I'm not laying blame. I'm not looking for apologies, because none of that matters. What matters is if you want to change it. So are you ready to change? Are you ready to take responsibility? Do you want the ability to respond? Bottom line. So listed below, I've got our website for more information. If you're ready to take responsibility and you want the ability to respond, click on that link. Read the full blog, it's down below. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night.